Facts First presents. Most people missed the giant blooper in this iconic Forrest Gump scene. If you've ever seen Forrest Gump, you know it is one of the greatest movies ever made. The 1994 film was directed by Robert Zemeckis, starring Tom Hanks. It's the story of a man's extraordinary life. The movie did great at the box office, and at the 67th Academy Awards it won half a dozen of the Oscars it was nominated for. The movie was great, but not 100% perfect. Most people missed a giant blooper in this iconic Forrest Gump scene. And there are also a few other things you might not know about the film. Before we get into it, help us spread the word about Facts First by clicking that like button. Also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Bubba Gump. In the film, Forrest's best friend Bubba planned to reign over the shrimping business after the Vietnam War. When he died, Forrest kept Bubba's dream alive by starting Bubba Gump Shrimp. In real life, you can visit Bubba Gump Company restaurants in the United States, China, Japan, Mexico, and Malaysia. Almost real life. In the film, Forrest receives the Medal of Honor for bravery in the Vietnam War. The footage of Forrest getting the medal was real footage. The footage was from the 1968 ceremony for Sammy L. David, who received the medal for his service. They put Hank's face on Davis's body. Fake Vietnam. The crew didn't go overseas to Vietnam in order to film the war scenes. They actually filmed all of those scenes at a golf course on Fripp Island, off the coast of South Carolina. They used CGI to make it look like they were in the jungle with reedy swamps. That's some pretty good computer graphics. How did she die? In the film, Jenny dies of an unknown virus 2 years after she and Forrest are married. Most people assumed that it was AIDS because the scene took place at the height of the AIDS crisis in the United States. But that's not what the author had in mind for her death. He meant for her to have died from hepatitis C because of her drug usage. Forrest's accent. Tom Hanks had to perfect his accent for the film. It needed to sound like he came from Alabama. He did such a great job that he had his youngest co-star to thank for that. He modeled his accent after the boy who played the young Forrest Gump, Michael Connor Humphreys. Tom Hanks won an award for his role as Forrest Gump, and that little boy, Michael Connor Humphreys, he won a Young Artist Award for his role as Forrest Gump. Lieutenant Dan. In the movie, Lieutenant Dan loses his legs in the war. To pull off this in the film, they had the actor Gary Sinise sit in a wheelchair wearing blue fabric. With the magic of CGI, they helped him lose his legs. Jenny's nude scene. In the scene where Jenny is singing in a nightclub naked, actress Robin Wright was miserable. She was sick and sniffling through every scene. What was worse was that the scene took all day to get right. Prosthetic lip. Bubba had a big bottom lip that stuck out. The actor, Mykelti Williamson, didn't have a naturally protruding lip, so they put a prosthetic lip on him. It took a while to perfect, but people had no idea that it was fake. Improving the most famous line. In the film, Forrest says, "My name is Forrest Gump, people call me Forrest Gump." But that line didn't appear in the script. Tom Hanks improvised the line, and it was used through the entire movie. Forrest options. Tom Hanks wasn't the only actor considered for the role. John Travolta, Bill Murray, and Chevy Chase were all offered the part, but they all declined. John Travolta says that to this day, he is still kicking himself for turning down the role. Kurt Russell. What you might not know is that Kurt Russell was in the film. Yeah, his part is uncredited. He was the voice for Elvis. The lead role. Haley Joel Osment played Forrest's son when he was only 4 years old. When Hanks received the AFI Lifetime Achievement Award, Haley admitted that he thought he had the lead role in the film, not Hanks. Run, Forrest, run! In the movie, Forrest does an awful lot of running, and that means that Tom Hanks had to do an awful lot of running. His brother Jim Hanks was actually a runner, and the two looked fairly similar, so they had Jim do the long-distance running scenes to give Tom a break. Growing up. During the film, Forrest grows up on screen. One thing that remains the same in Forrest at all the ages, though, is the distinct blue plaid pattern shirt that he wears. Forrest's speech. When Forrest makes his moving speech in Washington, D.C., the microphone cuts out. In the part of the speech that you don't hear, he says, "Sometimes when people go to Vietnam, they go home to their mamas without any legs. Sometimes they don't go home at all. That's a bad thing. That's all I have to say about that." Taking the kids to work. In the scene where little Forrest gets on the bus and tries to find a seat, the two kids tell him that the seat beside them is taken. Well, finally, Jenny lets him sit next to her. The two kids that turned Forrest down were not child actors. The boy is Alexander, the son of the director Robert Zemeckis. The girl is Elizabeth, Tom Hanks' daughter. Bubba. A few actors were considered to play Bubba, including Ice Cube, David Alan Grier, and Dave Chappelle. Ice Cube says he felt uncomfortable playing a disabled character. Dave Chappelle said that he didn't think the film would do all that well. Well, he sure ate his words after that, huh? Another sick actor. Robin Wright wasn't the only member of the cast who was sick during filming. When Tom Hanks shot the football scenes, when he had to run the entire field, he was suffering from the flu. Real-life run. Many people don't know this, but a real-life event actually inspired the part of the movie where Forrest runs across the country after Jenny leaves. In 1982, a 16-year-old boy named Louis Michael Figueroa made headlines when he ran from New Jersey to San Francisco. He was running to raise awareness for the American Cancer Society. They even used his words when Forrest said, "When I got tired, I slept. When I got hungry, I ate. When I had to go to the bathroom, I went." These are the same words that Louis said to the press. And subscribe for more.